And it says we're live.
Yeah, lies. All right. Take your pick. Support the blanket fort. Send money here. Just to keep us running. We're on the third week of August, and we're not into our second week of 110 degree humidity or 110 degree temperatures. So I'm really waiting for for the other shoe to drop.
But it's 98 with a feels like of 104
No kidding.
and 51% humidity.
Yeah.
If you like coffee, and coffee keeps people alive.
Yeah.
Donate or talk to these guys. King Harv's Imperial Coffees. www.kingharv.com. Let them know you heard about it from us.
Yeah, Dippers has got a cold spell going.
No kidding. All right. Among the Leaves Tees. tinyurl.com. Among the Leaves Tees. T-shirts. He has probably hundreds of designs. And trust me, there'll be a design in there that appeals to you.
Currently, for you authors out there, he's got a design that says, I'm an and more author.
Yeah.
So for any of you that didn't make the cover cut on an anthology, that's your shirt.
Teen and more. If you order from him, and you probably should, let him know you heard about it from us.
Speaking of which, John's sixth book in
Wolfhounds.
Wolfhounds.
Wolfhounds is out.
That was funny because I delivered the cover to him, and like 2 hours later, he's like, "It's out," and I'm like, "Was I the holdup in this?" he's like, "No, it only took an hour to post. It usually doesn't go through that quickly." So I was like, "All right."
Rob Hampson's second set of short stories is out.
Good.
It's called Where the Light Still Reaches.
2 of 3.
Yep, and this is 2 of 3. And the other one is our friend Josh Amos has his follow-on out.
Oh,
to,
well
done. And hang on, I got to get the name of it again. Damn it. I'm having one of those days, folks. Bear with me. I'm running off my hotspot on my phone, so things are a little slow. Called The Orphan's Autumn, Autum. And you have to look for it in Kindle if you want the Kindle version. Otherwise, the only one it's going to show you is the paperback. He's working on getting that fixed. So Nick's book is up and out. And what is coming out this week from Raconteur
Blades
Press?
and Black Magic should be out by Friday, if not slightly sooner. You know how we are.
You know how Amazon is.
Yeah.
Oh, look, Raconteur Press. Let's screw with them.
Well, I've got Blades and Black Magic is all illustrated. I really had some fun with the illustrations in this. I went the extra little step and gave it the custom scene divider. So if you get a copy of it, definitely take a look and see what that is. I'm not going to tell you. It's a surprise.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it's going to be hard to guess, but
Yeah.
I'll be fine.
It's one of those days at EOD school. Not the red wire. Boom.
It's like there's a very, very old, well, for the kids, an old joke about first day at suicide bomber school. All right, folks, pay attention. I'm only going to show you this once.
Yeah.
Sure.
Cedar got that one.
I got reminded today that 9/11 was 24 years ago.
Yep.
Oof.
And some of us still remember it like it was yesterday.
Well, yes. I mean,
I'll do you one better than that. I was having one of those melancholy days this morning, and I was recalling one of those epiphany moments when I figured out that I wasn't all that in a bag of chips, and I needed to adjust some things, and I figured out it was 40 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. Rick says, unless you're Ahmed the Dead Terrorist. Right. Yeah.
That might have been where I heard it from.
Yeah.
Pay attention, folks. I'm going to show you this once.
Yeah. There are, and one thing that came across my feed this morning that kind of got my attention. It appears that a group in Africa is less than pleased with the maps that most of the world uses called a Mercator projection,
Everybody uses.
because it does not show Africa in its correct size. So they are protesting it. And they want to go to the UN and have the UN do a GIS map that more adequately reflects the size of Africa.
So the UN can spend how many millions of dollars to develop a map nobody will use? Tell you what.
And oh, by the way, Mercator, of course, was done by a white man, so it wasn't fair. So we have that.
We can't get kicked off YouTube.
Now,
We can't get,
so to move on to my next thing before Ian goes off,
can't get kicked off YouTube. We'll not get kicked off.
a clarification on something. This came out of a discussion I was having with another young writer last night. What you see in the movies is they tie the reins of the horse to the hitching rail. That is not correct. You should never tie a horse to anything with the reins. What was actually done back in the 1870s, 60s, 70s, when they were riding horses back in the day, was the fact that most of the horses had either a halter or a lead rope that stayed around their neck. That was what you are supposed to tie the horse to the hitching rail with. Now, yes, you did see it in the movies. What you did not see is the props guy running out there as soon as the scene ended and untying the horse. Because the one thing you do not want to develop is what's called a hard mouth on a horse. And if you're tying their reins directly to a hitching rail and they pull back, now they are going to have what's called a hard mouth, because it's going to make them not like having anything in their mouths. Whereas if you use a halter or you use a lead rope, it's not connected to the reins. So anyway, if you're going to do it right, what was it like when you trade in your Triceratops? Well, the first thing you do is you don't trade them in. Once you get them broke in, you ride them till they die. But
Voice of experience there.
But seriously, folks, if you're going to write it correctly. It's a half a sentence, and it won't get the horse people pissed off at you. Yeah, wrangler or not prop guy, whatever. Depends on where you are, Nancy. Some people say prop guy, some guys wrangler. Normally, if it was a real movie with the right number of people, they would have a wrangler to handle all the animals. If it was a low budget one, whoever was doing the props was doing everything.
Or Alec Baldwin was running it.
Yeah, or Alec Baldwin was running.
Don't shoot the horse.
Yeah. Thankfully, he didn't do that.
If he'd done that, a lot more people would have been up in arms about it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
If he'd shot a horse or a dog.
Yeah.
He'd have been in all kinds of trouble, but he's a person.
Strung
so.
up. Yeah. It's people. People suck anyway.
Yeah. ASPCA has for 30 years, 40 years, had an animal safety person on every movie for just that reason. Because years and years ago, there were people protesting outside of Westerns because of the way the horses were treated. Don't look at me like that. They were.
No, I don't doubt you. I'm just thinking the ASPCA is consistently what they are.
Wow.
Yes. But they were protesting because, well, these horses get knocked down, they fall down. They're trained to do that.
Nope.
They're trained to fall. That's part of why they're there. They're trained to fall in a specific spot.
And you don't want to damage your specially trained critters
No.
because you're not going to be able to replace them in a hurry
No.
Or cheaply.
or cheaply.
Yeah, Richard, nowadays it's probably the Humane Society.
Or PETA.
Yeah, no more running W trip lines. Yes. Mongo and
Mongo.
Blazing Saddles. Yeah.
I'm the only pawn in Game of Life.
Yeah. Yeah, that horse was actually trained to do just that. And he actually never touches the horse.
Good God, no.
If you saw it from the other angle, he doesn't even come close.
Yeah.
But the horse was looking at his wrangler and
The trainer.
his trainer, and he went, thud. Okay, I fall over now.
Yeah.
Although I believe in Conan, when Arnold Schwarzenegger punches the camel, I believe that he miscalculated. He actually did punch the camel, for which I give the man kudos. Thank you for punching the camel.
Camels deserve it.
Every,
Shit and spitting, everything else.
Okay, I know it looks like a mess, but I do know what I'm doing.
Oh, I have no doubt about that. It's a very, very competent mess.
I paint when we're doing this.
Yeah.
And today I have frisket on the paper to mark out where the dragon's bones are. And I have just painted dirt very messily all over the paper. And Ian keeps looking over here and giving me that face.
Oh, yes. Well, and we are going to be tucked in this weekend because it's hotter than hell 100.
Yes,
Oh, is that
not
this
going
weekend?
anywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Oh,
Stay
God.
safely at home, plan to go nowhere, and
Yeah.
do nothing.
God.
Yeah.
14,000 screaming psychopaths out in the.
And I don't think
Hours.
I can even get to the farmer's market. I think it's all going on down in that area. So
Yeah.
I said psychopaths with on purpose.
there's an L in there.
Yeah, it's all around the courthouse these days.
Yeah, I know.
So it's the whole downtown is going to be
There's
food
that,
bar.
you drive by that one building that has the mural that says hotter than hell.
Rick says how the camel got his hump.
Yeah.
Kipling had reasons.
Damn it.
Kipling had reasons for that, and also how the rhinoceros got his skin.
Yeah.
With all the wrinkles on it because of the peat crumbs. And that's why he's so grumpy.
Too bad they're in a tag for lycra-clad idiots. Yeah.
In this case, it's hunting over bait.
Yeah, sadly, Todd, that's true. So far, going for a drive with a sturdy farm bumpler is contraindicated.
No, but it would be satisfying as hell.
Yeah, just slightly.
I'm
In
seriously,
the herd a little bit.
hotter than hell 100 just sets my teeth on edge.
Yeah. I mean, everybody's got to have a hobby, I guess.
Well, if your hobby's trying to kill yourself, yeah, go for
I
it.
I
don't,
mean,
I don't,
skydivers.
I don't mind hobbies. It's whether hobbies inconvenience me.
Where I used to live in New Hampshire, we had Bike Week. It started out as Bike Weekend, and
Yeah.
it was just basically the Weirs Beach area, which is touristy, and I never really went there anyway.
Yeah.
Also, that was before I could drive because I was really young back then. But it expanded over the years, as these things do, as we show up to conventions on Thursday and don't leave until Monday, into Bike Week. And I think the last time I paid any attention, and this was probably pre-COVID, there was like 250,000 bikers would show up into Laconia, New Hampshire, which is not that large
No.
and does not have facilities for that
That's
many
a shit
people.
ton of people breathing my air.
That is a lot of people, and I actually worked down at the Weirs Beach a few times because you make money hand over fist.
Yeah.
Especially when you're doing balloon twisting for lubricated bikers.
Yeah.
I mean, this is one of the few places where I've ever gotten $100 tip.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice.
And You can get quite cheeky if all you have is an audience full of bikers and
Yeah.
you're blowing up balloons into their faces.
Hey, Sarah, good to see you.
But on the other hand, getting there involved walking for like a mile because
Yeah.
you couldn't park.
Well, we went up to Bill's and had catfish Saturday night.
I'm sorry that I missed that.
Yeah.
Me too.
We have to do that again soon.
And hey, Tom, we actually got up there early enough that we got to park in the parking lot this time.
Ooh.
Apparently,
nice.
Ben was kind of worried that
Because Ben thinks we're out in the country here. So Bill's is a catfish place
institution.
/ fish camp. And it's up in Oklahoma. It's about a mile north of the Red River.
On 79.
It has no sign.
I thought they finally put a small one up.
No.
No, somebody probably stole it.
So you're driving up through there, and if you don't know it's there, you're going to miss it the first time.
Because it's a couple dilapidated trailers.
Well, it's an old double wide that got expanded. And all they serve basically is catfish
Yeah, catfish.
and shrimp. Now they have added steak fingers and chicken.
Yes, which made my husband happy to hear.
Yeah.
Because he won't touch
Wow.
catfish.
Yeah.
Wow.
But
I love catfish properly done.
they do it fish camp style, so it's very thinly sliced, and it's breaded in cornmeal,
Mm-hmm.
and it's good,
Mm.
and it's hot.
Mm.
I mean, it comes out and it's still bubbling.
It comes right out of the fryer.
Yeah.
Did Ben like it?
Yeah.
Good.
Oh, good.
Then, like everybody liked it,
Good. I still haven't made it over there.
but as we were walking out, there were probably the waiting room, which is not that large, was full.
Mm-hmm.
We stepped outside. There were probably another 60 people standing in line outside,
Yeah.
and there were people waiting in their cars.
Mm-hmm.
And they were starting to string down the side of the road on both ends of the parking lot.
Yep.
And Ben just kind of looked at me and I went, I told you this is why we come up here early.
Yeah, you got to
Yeah.
get there early.
Yeah.
Hey,
And we waited a half an hour.
Tom, how's the deck rot?
Why are you poking Tom where it hurts? That's not nice.
The hush puppies do not have jalapenos. As a matter of fact, have you seen a funnel cake dispenser?
Yeah, that's basically what they
That's
do.
how they do their hush puppies. They put the hush puppy mix in a funnel cake dispenser, squirt, 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 squirt. So you get these little cylindrical.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, if I were going to be doing hush puppies for a huge group of people, that's how I'd want to do it.
Yeah.
I've seen the other thing that would probably work is one of those like pancake dispensers, a little bit wider nozzle. So,
Or an auto dog.
yeah.
It is people come from. I am not exaggerating. Hundreds of miles to eat
Yeah.
meals. I think the last time I was there, the people we were in line behind had come from Missouri.
Yeah.
Somewhere in Missouri.
And that one couple that comes down every month from Kansas City.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, glad your deck is repaired, Tom. And,
Yep.
this is not the time of the year to be out screwing with a deck, but
No.
Rot is rot.
Yeah.
Yep.
I thought it was termites, which would have been a whole lot worse.
Yeah. I'm doing a little project right now that I'm only doing in the morning for like an hour because I'm trying to clean and restore to use the little workshop that's attached to our garage. And it is uninsulated, unheated, uncooled,
Yeah.
more to the point. And I can only work out there for so long before I am just dripping with sweat. It's probably great for weight loss, but oof.
Yeah.
I don't want to be out there too long.
Yeah.
So my hope is to get it clean and ready to use because, boy, howdy, are there spiders out there. I'm going to clean it and then I'm going to paint it. But I'd like to have it ready to use by the time it's cool enough to actually work out there.
Yeah.
And I discovered today that concrete paint should not be applied if it's more than 90 degrees Fahrenheit. And I'm like, well, that sucks.
That leaves half the year out.
Yeah.
There's 6 months of the year I can't even try to do that.
8, closer to 8. Well, not these days. Telling these guys, we are the third week in August, and we're not the second week in 110-degree temperatures, which really has me nervous.
Yeah.
But it is still significantly over 90 degrees Fahrenheit, so I can't paint the floor.
No,
Not
but
yet.
the simple fact that we're not in the 110s
Yeah. No, absolutely.
makes me a little bit nervous.
Well, and as we were talking the other night, Farmer's Almanac has said all year that it's going to be a cold and wet winter.
Cold, wet winter.
Oh, it's been a cool, wet summer.
Yeah.
Well,
NOAA had
very,
it,
very sneakily updated their
had
following
it as being
forecast.
a warm and dry winter.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Last week, they've changed it. Now they're saying it's going to be a cold,
very
wet winter.
sneaky update.
Yep.
Yeah, it's been a very mild summer for so
a
far
big
for all of us.
oval
Yes.
that ends on us for cold, wet winter.
Yeah.
We've had a couple of cold winters. We just haven't had a wet one, cold, wet one yet. Which makes me a little nervous.
Yeah. Last winter was very dry, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not to the point where I have years of data to track with my rain collection that I collect data for, but I collect data every day, even on 0 days. So I have some pretty interesting little charts and graphs at this point after a couple of years of this. So give me 10 years and I'll have some really interesting data.
Mr. Coon says, great for dehydration. Yes.
Arizona native.
Stick it in the dehydrator called outside and leave it.
Yes.
There are people that I've talked to in the paint that have said, "Hey, we're headed towards a cooling spell, if not an ice age," and those are inevitable.
Right now, we're at 51%.
Ice age is inevitable. I just don't know if it's going to be the next 10 years or the next 100 or 10,000 years, but it is inevitable. I don't want to go into an ice age.
Well,
I mean, if we're going to go into an ice age, we're in a decent place for it. We're far enough south that, I mean, I'm used to gardening in the north anyway, so I would just roll with it. But
well, even if you do that, what that would make this then is a temperate zone.
Yes.
Full of northerners.
With water and stuff growing.
Uh-huh. I mean, the
and then they'd have to try to get the mesquite out of the way.
The mesquite will have, okay, so here's the thing, is if you're shifting zones, if you go much further north of us, you'll notice there's no mesquite.
Oh, no, it's still there.
It's still there, but it's less, so you're going to have shifting habitat ranges as well, as far as what trees will grow here and what trees won't, and other things. There's some
I agree with that.
Yeah.
But the issue with the mesquite is where they were taking dumps and where they were eating mesquite.
Cows.
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely. They moved the range because things will adapt as well. And then once you have a tree that's surviving in colder weather, its seeds then propagate outwards and it spreads. But still, I mean, if you go up to OKC or up to Tulsa, and let's take Tulsa and bring Tulsa's growing zone down to where we are, you're going to see a huge change in what's growing here and what won't grow here anymore.
We're going to be up to our armpits in northerners.
Yeah,
well, that too, but I mean.
And Michael is correct. We are technically in an interglacial period of an ongoing ice age.
Yes.
Hail in March, 1,000-year flood in July.
Well, we had some serious hail with that storm that dropped the 3 inches of rain on us too. I mean,
well, we shouldn't be getting rain in August.
No.
And the thing is traditionally the Hotter Than Hell weekend marks the break in the triple-digit temperatures.
Yeah.
And we really haven't. I mean, yes, we've had triple digits, but
not continuous.
But
I'm looking at the 10-day, and like in a week, we're predicted for 80s.
Yeah.
It's going to be positively chilly out there.
It's weird. I'm looking. We don't have insulation in the walls of our house.
Neither do a lot of other Texas houses. I don't know about mine. I haven't peeled open enough of the walls in my house to tell you if I've got insulation.
Oh, no, that's just not fair.
What?
Coon says 12% and 106.
It's tolerable.
We have 100-something-year-old house that started out with newspaper insulation, and various critters have consumed it.
Tom says Kentucky weather outlook: hot and shitty, continued hot and shitty until mid-September. Yeah, pretty much, Tom.
No, but it's weird. We should have, quite honestly, when I first moved back here in '99, it was August was triple digits, period.
Mhm.
Every day was triple
Yeah.
digit.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's been entire weeks of August that it didn't hit triple digits. I mean, it was still
Yeah.
having high
We
90s.
had last week or week before last, we had 80 day,
Yeah.
which was really weird.
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about not having insulation. Have you been following what Katie Cross is putting up with her
Which
house?
Katie Cross?
The author?
The author that lives up in Montana?
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
They get cold.
Yeah,
up
no
there.
kidding.
Well, their house turns out to have been a pole barn.
Okay.
Nice.
There's no insulation.
Oh.
Some of the exterior walls is doors.
Well, time to do some serious insulation.
Yeah.
I mean,
Woo.
Yeah.
Better do it now.
Yeah.
yeah.
Now, while your fingers are still attached.
Yeah, the farmhouse that we lived in New Hampshire was built in, well, they started building it before the Civil War. All the men went off. So they finished building it in 1865, 1866, somewhere in there, whenever the guys came filtering back up for the battles. And if there had been insulation in that house at one point, there certainly was not by the time we came around to living in it, because a lot of the insulation back then was sawdust.
Yeah.
There were a lot of sawmills in that area. There's creeks, and they did water-driven mills.
Decent. It's not great, but it's decent
It
insulation.
settles.
Yeah, it does.
So you wind up with insulation in like 2 feet of the wall, and everything above that is air gap.
Yeah.
So yeah, trying to keep that thing warm.
With that bottom 2 feet was rock solid.
Oh,
rotten.
Yeah.
Because that's the other thing about old New England farmhouses.
Yeah. They all
Especially
rotted.
ours. No, they were deliberately built over springs.
Yeah.
So you had a source of fresh water all winter when everything else was frozen.
Yep.
And this particular house was on a dairy farm. It was attached to, it had long burned down by the time we bought the house, but it was attached to a huge dairy barn, much larger than the little Cape Cod house was.
Yeah.
And there was actually a covered passageway between the house and the barn.
Yep.
And you could go right into the basement of the house from the barn. And there was a spring that had a wall built into it. So there was a pool underneath that house. And this was still there when we lived there. And they took the big tins of milk and they set it in there until the milk truck came around.
53-degree temperature.
And it was cool and protected, and you kept the milk sweet until it could be picked up and hauled into town. And that does really bad things to a
Wooden structure.
Yeah. And that's what led to the house being demolished. Was when they sold it to my grandparents decided that they didn't need to have a house inspection done. For all of you listening and in the chat, please do a house inspection. I know it's a couple $100. I am sure that you have loads of experience. Do a house inspection.
Always do a house inspection.
The guy that sold the house to them, because they bought it, my parents hadn't seen it. We were still living up in Alaska. So my grandparents fell in love with this cute little house. So many issues.
Yeah.
But the guy had taken one of the sills was already bad at that point, and he had basically built a shell around it of 2x12s.
Yeah.
Because it was a wooden beam originally that was sitting on top of stacked dry rock wall.
Yeah.
And he built a shell of 2x12s around it to conceal just how bad it was.
Oh.
And by the time that this was realized, what the cost was going to be to jack the house up and completely replace that was outrageous.
Prohibitive. A lot more than $200 inspection fee.
Yeah. Stanford raises a good point. A lot of people don't realize wallpaper was originally for insulation.
Yes.
Or at least to cover the cracks and keep the wind out.
Yes.
Yes.
You pasted up whatever you had. Newspapers, movie posters. There's been some interesting finds of old playbills.
Oh, yeah.
That were just pasted up on the wall as wallpaper.
That one house up in Connecticut.
Mm-hmm.
The owner of the house in the 1920s ran the local movie theater.
Mm-hmm.
And he pasted up playbills.
Yep.
And those are the only existing A sheets or playbills that are complete from that time period.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, the
So hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of
Mm-hmm.
playbills that they were unsticking from each other.
Well, and you can do that because
Yeah.
a lot of those, the paste that they used was basically flour and water.
Yeah.
And that breaks down over the years. Although a lot of things find that tasty.
Casey,
Yeah.
So you're going to have insects all through that, silverfish and
when Rita and I got this house, we just quickly discovered that the original wallpaper was actually cloth with almost a felt backing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
When we were stripping off the wallpaper, which had been painted over.
Yeah.
Multiple times.
Yep.
Mm,
all of this is standard.
yeah.
I mean, usually you'll get multiple layers of wallpaper too.
Yeah. And Michael also says, and pages from books that were great historical finds. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's like a couple of years ago when they were doing an upgrade at Bletchley Park in England.
Oh yeah.
They found stuff in the walls.
Not only that, it was Turing's original notes
Mhm. Yeah.
that had been missing since World War II
Yep.
because they stuffed them in the wall for insulation.
But this wallpaper was cloth, a real shiny cloth,
Mhm.
and then with almost like a felt.
Yeah.
And one of the better was great insulation before somebody soaked it in paint.
Yeah.
Then it wasn't the insulating factor wasn't so good anymore.
Yes, Dagamore, flour and water, Army Target paste or glue. Yeah.
Yep.
So yes, it was composite structure, Todd.
I mean, that's the thing too, which is that we go back now, and I do this with cookbooks all the time. I'll buy a cookbook and get it home and carefully flip through it to see
Yeah.
what the lady had stuck in it, either recipes that she'd clipped or just random newspaper bits. And it's really cool to find these little pieces of ephemera
Yeah.
that were intended to be discarded. I mean, ephemera means vanishing, and these were not things that were intended to be kept and treasured. But because of that, they're now more precious because they don't survive.
Hey, Mike, welcome.
Hey, Mike Mass is on here. Hey, Mike.
And having an inspector is no guarantee.
No, it's not.
No, but
but
if
it's
they're bonded,
certainly
you can
better.
get your money back.
Yeah.
If they're bonded, you get their money back.
Yeah.
Well, and it also gives you grounds for if you figure something out later, you can go back and have possibility of a suit against the
Yeah.
seller that they deliberately and knowingly tried to conceal something.
Mike says he's enjoying Ian's post about the young man's self-estimation policy.
Mike was one of the people I'm pretty sure was going,
Yeah.
For those of you who don't follow me on Facebook, I had a case of melancholies this morning, and I was remembering a time when I was young. I was when it came to fighting, I was good. I'm good at it, and I'd had some good training. I've never done that.
Sure, Mike.
I had some good training before I went in the Army, and man, I thought I was hot shit, and I probably was. Looking back, I was good, but I was cocky.
Oh, yeah.
I was cocky, and doing a shoot house. I was 22, 23, doing a shoot house, and the doctrine at the time was if you ran dry, if you ran out of ammo, safety on, step to the side, let the number 2 guy behind you shoot past you while you change your magazine. Well, I was cocky. I had a good magazine change. I wasn't doing that. I went for 6 months, and I could change a magazine with quickness. Well, and I kept getting chewed out about it. I got wall-to-wall counseling. I did push-ups. I did rifle drills. Anybody that's done a rifle drill, ass chewed the whole 9 yards. I was good. So this one time, I was going to shoot, I was ran dry, got my mag, and I missed the mag well. I went outboard, and this wasn't anything. So I went outboard. I just recovered, but when I recovered and got the magazine home, the hyena-voiced warrant officer on the shoulder, he had a friggin' megaphone, that went around and said something along the lines of, "It's all right, sir, McMurtry. You've got the rest of their lives to change out that magazine. And for some reason, that
Hit home.
that for some reason that hit home. The simple fact that if I didn't do my job right, it wasn't on, if I got killed, fuck it. But the rest of my guys could get killed.
Yeah.
And that was, and it finally, that you got the rest of their lives to change that fucking magazine. For some reason, and it's, as I said this morning, that was one of the small stepping stones from arrogant child to responsible man. And I don't know why it was weighing heavy on me this morning, so I put it up on Facebook.
Mine was the life raft. Because oddly enough, my job, both on the Connie as a metalsmith and on the P3, when I originally went to P3s, was to get one of the life rafts out. And when you fuck that up, because you can't get it to disconnect. I mean, we were supposed to do this blindfolded.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very simple. It's just 3 straps. Follow the strap down, click it. Find the next strap, follow it down, click it. Find the third strap. Trying to do that when you're blindfolded shows you just how hard it is. And then, of course, we had the VP9 accident where we literally lost people because they only got 2 of the rafts out, only on one side. Never got the left side out. But that brought it home to roost, because if I didn't do my job, I was potentially killing 12 people.
Yeah.
Mike Masters says he retold one of Jim's P3 stories about mooning a Soviet admiral. SES at UCOM was a former brown shoe and heard the story too.
Oh, yeah. Yep. And he probably, Mike, I will tell you, if he was an SES, he probably knew who Don East was. Don was rather famous or infamous, depending on your point of view, in the intel world for a number of years. One hell of a Mustang.
But like I said, I was an arrogant little bugger. I was experienced, 18. I was an experienced fighter, experienced with weapons. I was an arrogant little bugger. Yeah. And that was the one thing, finally realizing that if I screwed the pooch, it wasn't just me. That was finally got through my arrogant little testosterone poisoned think pudding.
Well,
Mike, that's true. The airman epitomized young men's confidence.
No kidding.
Because, and it also brings to mind the fact that when you are in charge, you don't always have control of what everybody's doing around you, especially when you're busy doing other things.
I have no idea what that would be like. As he looks mainly at Cedar.
Yeah. Yeah, Mike, they chopped up the P8 that went off the runway at Kaneohe. That was a classic case of overconfidence on the pilots. And that took one bird out that'll never come back. Because
like we have
saltwater intrusion is not good. And that is the downside of a volcanic runway. They are slick when they are wet.
I'm not sure that we have enough to be, I don't know that our inventory is over 100% yet.
Yeah. Yes, they did the accident report on it. AIB is out. Not sure if I've got a copy of it or not. I'll check, Mike, see if I do.
Go talk to the accident investigator who you went to school with.
No, I'm a little older than that.
Oh, the accident investigator whom he babysat.
Poor Jim.
Gave him rides on Triceratops.
It's because one of the kids I bounced on my knee is now a former CO.
Your Honor, the state rests.
Surprised the hell out of me when he walked up and introduced himself. No, they did not do that, Richard. They actually cut the airplane up. We have, Todd, they expanded it. So rather than 123, they're going to have 122 P8s.
I coined
Suboptimal choices for young men. Yes.
I coined a phrase, and I think I heard this from Kelly Grayson, but don't quote me on that. But I was the first one to use it in writing. Testosterone encephalopathy, which is, and it occurs in young men. And I have been told multiple times that testosterone encephalopathy is not an actual medical condition. If you have raised young men or you have trained young men, you will know it is a recognized medical condition.
Yeah. Yeah, Mike, that would be an interesting no shit there I was.
What?
To do a no shit there I was on the suboptimal choices from young men.
Isn't that generally the no shit there I was?
Yeah.
It might be more difficult to come up with optimal choices by young men.
Yeah, I agree, Mike. No recording allowed.
I'm here to tell you that suboptimal choices by middle-aged men is every bit as good, and sometimes even better.
I felt a little bad today because as we're cleaning out the workshop, one of the things that we were dealing with was several boxes of stuff from my son's apartment that got very obviously packed in a hurry and just dropped there.
Yeah.
And when he was home on leave, he told me basically anything that's left at the house, he doesn't care what I do with it. Now I plan.
No, don't say that.
No, because he's like, I'm probably never going to live in this house again. And most of the stuff that's there, he thinks is stuff that he's not going to care about. I plan to go through all this crap and filter out stuff that I think he will want in 5, 10, 20 years when he decides that he's ready to retire. And I'm going to stash that somewhere safely. But it's sad because he thought he was going to do this great thing and go off and he was going to be an adult, and he failed at it. And I feel bad about that, but it was also good for him because he learned.
Yeah.
He needed that. But it was suboptimal choices by a young man, and and he had to deal with the consequences.
I'm here to tell you, for the ladies in the chat, listen.
Yeah.
When the puberty gnome runs up and taps your favorite guy at about 14, 16, smacks between the running lights with the puberty club, the gnome will remove 50% minimum of his available IQ points.
Yeah.
He will not get them back until sometime in his 50s or 60s. Sorry, that's the way of it.
Okay, and here's the thing.
Rick says, thank God for statute of limitations and no surviving photos. Amen, brother.
Here's the thing. As a female of the species, and having observed a great many of other females doing suboptimal things, the puberty gnome also hits the ladies between the eyes at a certain age. And it doesn't affect us necessarily the same way as it does the boys, but there is still a huge effect. And the hormone fairy just dumps a bucket load of stuff on us, and we go around squishing for years, oozing out of our pores.
Yes, but when the young ladies make bad decisions,
they wind up in abusive marriages, like I should know.
When the young men make bad decisions,
they wind up in abusive marriages.
No. Unauthorized fireworks.
Yeah.
Fast roping off the 5th floor of a hotel using a fire hose.
But this is safer than marrying the wrong lady.
You never fast rope off the 5th floor of a Holiday Inn in Dallas, Texas.
I haven't fast roped off of a Holiday Inn. I've fast roped.
Yeah. Girls get meaner, boys get dumber. Yes.
Yes, 50% of the IQ points. Sorry. And yes, I did, for the longest time, the Holiday Inn in downtown Dallas was where everybody transitioning through MEPS stayed. You had the contract for MEPS. And somebody on this panel, probably not Jim, might have gotten caught bombing the Marines in the pool with furniture, and to evade and escape capture, fast roped off the 5th floor using the fire hose.
And it wasn't me, because the only time I fast roped, I was properly harnessed. Thank you very much.
Harness? Who harnesses on a fast rope?
Uh, I'm not typing any of Liz law breaking into a forever chat. Agreed, Mike.
I've been a Texas cop. I know what the statute of limitations on vandalism is.
Oh,
Fun though.
but the thing is, though, that the male and the female are different, but have similar underlying issues at that time of year.
Yeah, they just get stupid in
age.
different ways.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
but I mean, the whole thing with somebody recently said something about high school was not all that great, and I'm like, you think? I mean,
I'm so
Sure, Ted. Ted says there weren't any camera phones when I was a young man, so I can claim I was a perfect angel to spend my free time at the library. Right.
see when young ladies, when the encephalopathy hits them, they make poor life choices that end up in divorce court.
Yeah.
When young men make poor life choices due to testosterone poisoning, it's ooh, ah, woo.
Yeah. They end up with
Here it comes the woo woo bus.
the cuffs behind the back. Oh, speaking of which,
It's not cuffs, it's the IV, the bilateral wide open IVs as you bleed out.
the assistant AG in Rhode Island got her ass arrested.
For what?
Because they wouldn't leave the restaurant.
What?
Yeah, they refused to leave the restaurant.
were they asked to leave the
Yes.
restaurant, or the restaurant closed, or what?
No, the restaurant asked them to leave. They refused to leave. Cops were called,
Okay.
and they played "Do You Know Who I Am?" And the cops went, "Enough of this shit." Cuffed them both. And the AG the whole time is going, "But I'm an AG. Do you know who I am? I'm an AG. I know what the law is."
Do we
Oh,
know
good.
why they were asked to leave in the first place?
No,
Okay.
but
It
the whole
sounds like maybe they were abusive to their waitress.
Oh, yeah.
honestly.
would not be surprised.
Mike was talking about OnlyFans creators potentially affected for future LEO mill legal work. It's God's honest truth, Mike. It's not only that. I'm my retirement job, because Rhea said, "Love you, get the hell out of the house." I'm the front desk at a retirement center, and the number of folks coming in to work in the kitchen or work house cleaning around retirees that get bounced because we found the social media is awe-inspiring.
So okay, I've never worked in a kitchen, partly because I kind of thought you had to have a felony as part of your eligibility requirements to work in a kitchen.
Well, and quite honestly, a lot of felonies don't disqualify you.
Well, yeah, I mean, I can see that.
But if there are multiple videos of you floating around YouTube with with what your mama gave you hanging out,
Yeah, elder care definitely needs a background check.
Oh
because
yeah, no, elder
yeah.
care.
The amount of stuff that gets stolen from the elderly
Yeah.
every day.
It really should have the same stringency as childcare.
Yeah.
And even with that, there's still so many cases of childcare going very, very wrong.
and the fun thing, well, not fun, I say fun with a great deal of cynicism, is that with the elder care, one of the first signs, at least in our facility, of encroaching dementia is mislaying stuff and blaming the staff,
Mm-hmm.
which makes it really hard to do investigations.
Yeah. Oh, you should tell the story about the okra. Because that's hilarious.
Okra,
I brought
Texas okra.
okra. Okra. Lady at the one of the staff members at the place I work, her father has about 20 okra plants, and they're the big Texas. They're a Texas strain.
That's enough to feed a family of 42
Yeah, about 20 of them.
for weeks.
And she's been saying, "Daddy, I don't need any more okra." So he's got the spare key to her car, so he's been coming up, put okra in the here's 2 bags of okra. Now I pulled up there this morning, looked at her car, and there was 8.5 by 11 sheets of paper with "Daddy No" written on them, and one stuck the driver's side window, one stuck the passenger side window. I looked, and there were 2 bags of okra in the car anyway.
And I was like, well, she should lock her door because it's the whole story about the zucchini.
Yeah.
And in church, if you go into church and you don't lock your car doors, you wind up with a car full of zucchini. And I was informed that unfortunately,
He
No,
had the
Doug.
spare key.
Doug, it's actually not going woody.
No,
That's the size
yeah,
of a Texas okra.
it's designed to be this big.
Yeah.
It's bred to be this big and
Yeah.
still be.
also, when I was asked if I would like okra, my intent is not to cook it to eat it. I want to cook it for the slime so I can use that to stabilize paper pulp when I'm making paper. So in my case, I actually want the stuff to be slimy.
Looking for slime in all the wrong places. Looking for slime. Too many.
Oh, yes.
Oh, I don't know. If I'm looking for slime and okra, that is the right place. 'Cause I will find it.
That's a thing. My father didn't like okra. Okra went in Creole cooking. If you put okra in, it was that was New Orleans.
Yeah.
He wasn't a fan of it. If you got served gumbo with okra in it, that was New Orleans gumbo.
Yeah.
Tomato and okra and anything was, well, that's Creole or New Orleans. And Dad wasn't a big fan of New Orleans.
Well, that's Creole.
Creole cooking.
Anytime you put tomato in, it's Creole.
So the only time I've had okra and really, really enjoyed it, if any of y'all are within range of a Tupelo Honey Cafe, I think there's 3 or 4 of them in Tennessee now. Their food is amazing, and they brought us a little bowl full of fried okra, and it was good.
Yeah.
And that's the only time I've ever had it where I really, really
I like
liked it.
fried okra. I
Well,
do.
So-
you've had it because you've had my gumbo. It
I
had
don't
okra
think I
in it.
even realized there was okra in there, which is about ideal, really.
Right. I like fried okra.
It was
I
good
do.
gumbo.
A good fried okra
Yeah.
is actually pretty good. But when it goes slimy,
Yeah.
No, that is an unpleasant texture.
it's not a taste thing, it's a mouthfeel thing.
Yeah.
Now Jim's gumbo does have okra in it, but it's not, I don't get the mouthfeel.
Yeah.
So I was asked by an author when I was doing Eat This,
Yep,
Will
we
You
do,
Read
Mike.
That? I was asked by an author to make a dish that she had in one of her science fiction books, which was essentially, reading her description of it, it was essentially a stuffed, roasted cactus leaf.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I went, and this is while I was living in Ohio, so finding nopales was a thing to begin with.
Yeah.
And
It's
I
an
went
odd thing
and
to say.
I got a couple of prickly pear pads,
Yeah.
and they were I got them at Jungle Gym, so they were already prepared. They didn't have
Oh wow.
thorns or glochids or anything. They were nice.
Oh wow.
So I tried slicing into one and stuffing it with, I forget what I put in there. It was basically meat and cheese.
Yeah.
And it was inedible.
Yeah.
The only way we could do it and actually eat it, because it gets really slimy. I mean,
Yeah.
the texture is objectionable.
Yeah.
So what I did was I remembered how I had eaten brains in England, and I chopped it finely and scrambled it with eggs.
Yeah.
Because I find the texture of brains to be objectionable as well. So so I did that, and scrambling it with eggs and some sausage was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
But it chopped it fine enough that you no longer had big
I've
chunks
only
of
had
slime in there.
nopales in eggs. I don't.
Mhm.
Again, it's a mouthfeel. Slimy
Yeah.
doesn't.
Yeah.
Somebody contacted me on social media asking questions, asking about every offal, and I responded, yes, and you have too.
Yeah.
And this person was like, "What?" I said, "You chicken nuggets,
Yeah.
hot dogs,
Yeah.
and any ground meat from a big box store has offal in it."
Yeah.
And apparently gobsmacked.
So that is less so the case nowadays because it's so objectionable. But these days, what they put in hot dogs, good hot dogs, not your 99 cents package ones, is actually fairly high grade, and they no longer include a lot of stuff with it because people object so vociferously that in order to make it more marketable, they don't put
what they're, and this it does count as awful, what they're putting in Walmart and United, what they're putting in the ground meat since 2015 is heart and tongue.
Yeah.
But the rest of it are not.
Right.
Michael says no polys is an ingredient in good adobe walls.
I'm not surprised again with the mucilage. So what I'm doing with the paper making is I intend to make paper out of the first batch of paper will actually be made out of grape leaves that I've harvested from my grapevines, and those will get chopped and pulped, but the mucilaginous slime from the okra will help separate out the pulp, the little tiny fibers that you want to make into paper. You're not putting a huge amount in it. You don't want to turn your paper pulp slimy, but it helps distance those out so you get a very even, smooth paper rather than getting lumps and clumps of pulp. So,
or you go down to Office Depot and buy what they call reams, which is paper in a little package that you don't have.
So artists being extra.
Here we go.
I'm not going to do a huge amount, but I want to make some of my own paper and then paint or draw on it and be able to have art that I took from picking the leaves off my grapevines all the way through. Here's a finished piece. And the reason, because I can.
Well, that's like my friend Joe Williams. He and his wife did my covers for my books, with the exception of one he did.
Yeah. And the one I did is kind of an inside joke.
But he has been searching for a sketch pad for probably 20 years now. From expensive to cheap, going through trying to find one that he likes. He finally found one he liked.
Company went out of business.
and because paper is so variable and so important, I knew I was going to be painting dragons all 31 days of August. Part of that is to create some stock so I have something to sell when I'm at PCon as the artist guest of honor. This is the closest thing to a gallery showing I'm ever going to have. So I bought 2 blocks of watercolor paper. And in theory, they're both 300 GSM. So they're both the same weight. But the 2 different blocks behave very differently. What I just did to the little one that I have with me today, of just completely saturating it with water and paint, I can't do to the other block that I bought that's a different brand, because it buckles. It goes all wavy, and then the paint pools, and it's bad.
I'll do the same thing to you I do to Rita when she decides she's going to do something to save money. Okay.
This wasn't to saving money. It was.
Oh no, it's not.
It was this brand only makes this little tiny size, and I wanted a bigger block.
I'm going to do X. I'm trying to buy an X. I'm going to do my own. Yes, dear.
Greg says.
The paper is because it will have a unique look to it. So.
Greg says, cut into a hot dog in Moscow once that had fur on the inside. Decided to stick with the MREs.
It's a hot dog. Roughage.
Tom's response was, don't ask where the meat came from in Russia. Just be grateful for the protein.
If you're eating a sausage, just if you're squeamish, don't order the sausage.
So,
no matter what country you're in, if you're squeamish, don't order the sausage.
So for those of you that have not read Terry Pratchett and don't know about cut me own throat dibbler,
the sausages with the tubes in it.
Just don't ask.
Panel idea. Veterans taste test vintage MREs. No.
Mike, where are we going to find a vintage MRE for some of our veterans?
So there's a YouTube channel.
Especially one not labeled for pre-flight use. Never for pre-flight or in-flight use.
So there's a YouTube channel, and for the life of me, I couldn't tell you the name of it because I've only ever seen a couple episodes. But they do a whole bunch of these things where they actually open.
Steve MRE.
And sometimes taste. because some of them have been really awful old, and I really hope he didn't put that in his mouth. But
I would eat sea rats before I would eat an old MRE. Now,
There,
sea rats date to World War II.
back when the MREs
I've
first
eaten
came
sea
out,
rats.
I'm going to date
I'm not that
myself
old.
here. When the MREs first came out, the first two menus were patty pork dehydrated, not for in-flight pre-flight use, and patty beef dehydrated, not for in-flight pre-flight
Yeah.
use. And I have that memorized because a number of times my privates would have rat fucked a box of MREs, and I'd be looking up at the ass end of a C-130 holding a MRE menu number 1 or number 2.
How do you think we felt as aircrew when we got handed those for the meal for the in-flight?
Oh. Oh.
And we pointed that out. You know what the Air Force guy said?
Deal.
Tough shit.
Deal.
Tough shit isn't that the very definition of MRE?
Mm-hmm.
So I was
That's why you
never,
always keep the peanut butter.
Peanut
out.
butter and a can of Dr. Pepper.
I was never military. I did spend several years in the Civil Air Patrol, and the Civil Air Patrol gets
Sure, Mike. Go
what
ahead
the
and put a
Air Force
YouTube link.
doesn't want anymore.
Oh, like the Coast Guard.
Which is how I wound up eating sea rations, because somebody gave the Alaska Civil Air Patrol squadron that I was part of several cases, I don't know how many, I never saw the stash, of sea rats. So anytime we were out doing training, search and rescue, on our way down to encampment, that was what they fed us with, unless we actually were within range of a McDonald's, which is not that easy in Alaska.
Yeah.
Not even now, let alone 30 years ago.
Joel, they were.
I think it was the beans, and I suspect it was the beans.
Yeah.
But we were told not to ask questions we didn't want to hear the answer to.
Yeah. They were extremely gassy. I'll put it that way.
And when the raccoons at Fort Drum wouldn't eat the beef and pork patties,
Yeah.
All I know
Yes, the Italian
is
MREs had brandy, and they wouldn't give it to us.
in the early to mid 90s, I learned to avoid tuna noodle MREs with a quickness.
oh god, I like the original, the first edition. The beef stew was the only decent one.
Yeah.
And there would be fights over a beef stew MRE. But we spent 2 weeks on a debt, and we were there was something DARPA was coming out with something called T-Rats. I don't know if they still have T-Rats. Tray ration.
Yeah.
And what a T-Rat was this big rectangular brown tin, and you dropped it into a tub of boiling water for X number of minutes, and you had a hot entree for X number of men. So
It was like a TV dinner.
except big.
Yeah.
So
Big TV then.
12 of us were stuck in a great back of beyond, and we had 2 weeks of lasagna T-Rats, because that's all DARPA sent us. We had MRE for breakfast, and then lasagna for lunch, and lasagna for supper, and then MRE and lasagna, and MRE and lasagna.
And you have very politely eaten the lasagna I have made for you. I'm sorry.
Yours,
It's
sweetheart, is not DARPA grade lasagna.
I'll
And on
take
that note, folks, we've wasted another hour of your time.
Ooh, man! When we got back to Fort Hood, the screaming that came out of the latrine was
Epic.
heartrending.
Thanks for joining us, Mike, and everybody else. An exciting introduction to German World War II rations.
Oh, shock! Oh, methamphetamine chocolate for the win.
Yeah. And Turkish tobacco cigarettes. Oh, God.
Oh, Mike, we are in Texas. He asked earlier if we're in Texas. If you wanted to move here, I'm sure that we could put you on some houses.
Mike, you're also welcome to come on with us anytime you want to.
If you're coming through, we're on the way from here to there. So
Or we'll
And
bring
we
you
can
in.
do StreamYard and do a video.
StreamYard.
That would be fun.
Anyway, folks, remember, stay cool, stay dry. Don't pet the sweaty stuff. Don't sweat the petty stuff. We'll talk to you later.
Later, guys.
Bye bye.
Boy, we went squirrely today.